you all doing? My name is Deborah. Welcome to another edition of Tea Ramo with Deborah. And on this edition of Tea Ramo, it's a subdivision called Thoughts with Deborah, where we talk about, we review weekly episodes of a certain drama. And this week we're going to be talking about Legend of Fuyao, which is the only drama that I'm giving a week by week review. I'm watching other dramas, but it's the only one that I'm actually giving the time to. So today we're going to be talking about episodes 17 through 24. If you want to join me in this discussion, you want to hear my thoughts and see if they go along with yours, then join me on this journey. Grab your tea mugs and come along with me on this journey as we talk about Legend of Fuyao episodes 17 through 24. Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna start with the things that I really loved so far and my thoughts on them, and then we'll go into what I hate, my favorite scenes, my favorite quotes, and my thought as a whole of the episode. Now, this week's episode I feel was kind of better for me than last week's episode. I know a lot of people were complaining about this week's episodes, and they were saying how they were tired of the whole concubine shenanigans of it all, but I'm a huge fan of dramas like that, like palace themed dramas with the whole politics and mechanizations that happens in the palace for the concubines and the whole power play. So I really enjoyed this week's episode. I know it will not be a huge number of people's cup of tea, but it was definitely my cup of tea, and we had some progress with the lead. So definitely love this week's episode. My interest waned a little bit, but not as much as it waned the previous week. So I was definitely more into it this week than I was last week. But I'll be lying if I don't say that. There were a few parts that my interest waned, but it wasn't like as bad as the previous week. But like I said, it most likely has to do with the issue of my watching the raw versions before watching the sub versions. Alright, so now let's talk about our leads. It's only right for us to start there. Let's all just be honest with ourselves. One of the main reasons why we're still so captivated by this drama is the leads. Like their chemistry, their flirting, their conversations, their bantering. Everything is one thing that's definitely keeping us stuck to this drama, and they definitely did not let us down this week. They gave us more of them time in this week's episodes, at least for me. So I definitely appreciated it. I'm gonna be looking down at my notes just so I don't miss anything. The first thing I want to talk about is their conversation on power and how he told her, he asked her what if that was what he wanted also, and how she told him she didn't try to stop him, and she said like, strive for what you want, just make sure that you don't go into doing it the wrong way and become someone that even you yourself does not recognize. And I really love that she didn't try to stop him in a way. Was it just me? For those who have watched Bubu Jinzin, they did remind you guys of Bubu Jinzin and stuff that Scarlett had real for those who have watched the Korean version, but it just kind of reminded me of Bubu Jinzin. But I really like how he was blatantly honest with her right from the beginning, like, girlfriend, this is what I want, and she didn't shy away from it. She understood him wanting that, and she could appreciate his honesty, unlike senior brother who was never honest with her. And I think that's one thing. If senior brother had been honest with her, Fuyao maybe things would have turned out differently. But senior brother was never actually honest with her with what he wanted, which was power and all. He made it seem like just like how he wanted freedom. So I like how Fuyao is supporting him, and she told him, dude, you can go for what you want, like, and I'll go for what I want, and I'll support you doing what you want. Just don't stop me from doing what I want either, and just don't become someone unrecognizable and stuff. So I really loved that conversation. I think that was one of my favorite parts of this week's episode. The next thing that I really enjoyed this week was the first kiss scene. Now let's talk about that kiss scene. Is it just me? I'm wondering if this is a mistake with the directing, or this is really like how it was meant to be, and it's been bugging me. But did you guys notice that during their kiss, during the fight scene in the water, like the first kiss before he wuji was thrown up and he came back down, did you notice that Fuyao was the one that actually pulled into him and kissed him? Did you guys, I promise you, I watched that thing over 10 times just to keep seeing it and make sure that he didn't pull her, or I wasn't seeing it. I feel like he was meant to pull her in, but then somehow the communication and directing all the stuff was missed and she came in and kissed him. So it felt like Fuyao initiated the first kiss, and then the second kiss was obviously initiated by him, which I found really interesting, and it worked for me. But I'm just, what's bugging me or confusing me is this how it was meant to be, or was it a mistake in the directing and all of that scene and they missed it, or they were just like, whatever, let's just let it go, we can't do this scene again. But I really enjoyed that. I like that they've already had their kiss scene. I didn't really expect it so soon, like right now, but I'm not complaining, definitely not complaining. They already had another kiss, but that other kiss doesn't really count as a kiss. This is what really counts as a kiss, not the whole saving that he did for Fuyao in the previous episodes and all. But this is what really counts for me as your kiss. And I love how when he came in the second time and they kissed, I know a lot of people were asking why are their eyes open. If you notice, it was kind of, that's why I said, was the first kiss meant to be initiated by Fuyao, because you could see his shock that she didn't push him away the second time like she did the first time, which makes me question, like, was he meant to be the one that pulled her in during the first kiss scene and then the second kiss scene happens again? But because it won't make sense for him to be surprised when she's the one who initiated the first kiss, pulling him in, and then the second kiss is initiated by him and he's surprised that she didn't push him away, even though she pushed him away the first time. I'm not sure if I'm making sense to anyone here, but I'm making sense in my head. Anyways, the kiss scene and the fight scene I definitely enjoyed, especially the whole conversation where she told him that the obedient gentle girl is on the floor. That was the whole concert, and that she is definitely not like that. I enjoy the dynamics of that scene. The fight scene definitely reminded me of Princess Agents. For those who have watched Princess Agents, we all know it reminded us of Princess Agents. But it's interesting that it did, and it's not surprising that it did, considering they had the same martial art director for the two dramas. So it was just interesting that it definitely reminded me of Princess Agents. That's something that I just wanted to say. If anyone here has watched Princess Agents, if you haven't, save yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go watch it or watch it but skip the end. But anyways, that was something else that I really enjoyed and I wanted to talk about. Another thing that I really love is how he first made sure of Fuyao's feelings, how Wuji made sure of Fuyao's feelings for him before he sent her away. And it's kind of funny, touching on that scene, how literally Wuji has his people planted everywhere. Even one of the concerts is his person, which I need more like details. I wish they had showed us more of a background of how that happened. But the whole dynamics of Wuji literally having his person planted everywhere and being 2 steps ahead of the bad guys reminds me of Nirvana in Fire. Is it just me, like the Mei Chansu act and stuff? And I feel like if they had explored more on that scene, this drama would have even been better than it currently is right now. But I just love how he has his people planted everywhere, and I love how for once in a drama the bad guys are literally never winning. Wuji is always winning and winning and winning, and like 2 steps ahead of the bad guys, which, like I said, reminds me of Nirvana in Fire in that way, which is one thing that I think that's one reason why I was so endeared to Nirvana in Fire, because of how much Mei Cheng-su won and stuff. So that's what I really loved. Also this week, how he's always 2 steps ahead winning, and he has his people planted literally everywhere. I'm beginning to even suspect Zhang, the other prime minister who is Zhen's nemesis, is also one of his people. Like, everything is just too good to be true. But something else that I definitely enjoyed this week is how the misunderstanding between Wuji and Fuyao was cleared real fast. Like, we didn't need to wait 3 episodes, 4 episodes for her to realize that he sent her away to protect her. Like, she found out really fast. And I think it's quite hilarious and funny how when she came back, he kind of looked surprised, but then he now gave this expression like, anyways, it's not really shocking. If she didn't come back, that'd be more shocking. And then he gives her this look like, oh, you're back? And she gives him this look like, you stupid fool. Did you really think that you were doing this in my best interest by protecting me? You couldn't really tell me the truth of how you feel about me? Don't worry, I'll deal with you later. Just their expressions during the banquet when he saw her and she reacted back to him, and the whole dynamics between both of them during the banquet was just awesome and beautiful to see and too funny to see. So I definitely love that their misunderstanding was cleared fast, and we didn't have to wait so long for it to be cleared. That's something dramas I feel push these days, and I like that Fuyao didn't do that with the whole misunderstanding act, because that would definitely have thrown most of us off the drama and made us disinterested. Let's talk about Zhan. Was I the only one that definitely loved how most of the bad things were not done by Zhan this week? And he himself always seems surprised, trying to figure out, wait, who did it if it's not me? And it's so funny, like that scene where one of the ministers was telling him, Puro's dad was telling him, dude, are you the one that sent assassins to the king? And Zhan is like, why will I do it in public? That's suicide and stuff. And then Puro's dad was like, if you didn't do it, then who did? It was so hilarious how everyone knows he's the bad guy, but this week, even though he's the bad guy, he wasn't the one actually doing the bad things. And he himself was trying to figure out, like, who the heck is doing all these bad things if not me? Like, who's taking away my shine? And it was just so funny just seeing everything being reflected back to Wuji being the master planner behind it all. That's kind of why I said Wuji in a way reminds me of Mei Cheng-su. He does have Mei Cheng-su characteristics. So that was something that I definitely loved about this week. How Zhan literally is the bad guy, but he wasn't doing the bad things, and he was trying to figure out, like, who the heck is this person that's messing up my game and doing all those bad things and stuff. Something else that I definitely liked about Zhan this week is how Zhan is smart enough to realize that people that are hungry for power, like, he can't put his hopes on people that are hungry for power. E.g., when the concubine Tang came to meet him and tell him that she needed his help to become queen, immediately she said that. I think I knew, and we all knew, that that was the end of her dream of becoming queen, because you could see that hunger for power in her eyes, and he wants to be king. Now, if he wants to become king and this girl wants to become queen and she's so hungry for power and she ends up becoming queen, she can stop or hinder his plans of ending up ruling the kingdom. So he'll be a fool to actually make her become queen, but he can use her while pretending that he will help her become queen while not promising her that she will become queen. Because he said he's gonna put in a good word for her, but he never promised her that position. And girlfriend herself is stupid. Like, do you really expect him to give you the position of queen when his goddaughter is in the palace? Like, how dumb can you be to ask him that? You just literally laid your card in front of him that you are the enemy and you're not as innocent as you thought you were. So he wouldn't want to literally keep you in the palace in a high position because you could become a threat to him. So I really like how zhan is actually a smart bad guy, and he can see his greed. Like, he knows what greed can do to people, and when he sees the greed in other people, he knows when to literally cut them off because they can be a threat to him. So that's actually really smart of him, and I really liked that scene. Next, Lai Yi and Yun Han, his brother, the brothers reunion. I definitely love the brothers reunion this week. The only problem I had is that I wish they had literally showed us, like, the first time that Yun Han found out who his brother is. You know, they showed us everything that happened in successions throughout the episode, and then the next episode I wish they had just showed us everything in one go and not break it apart, because we'd have been even more emotionally invested in that scene than having to take a break and go to another scene and watch what is happening in another scene before coming back to the whole emotional thing that happened the previous night between the two brothers. So that's my only, like, complaint about that scene, something that I didn't like this week. But apart from that, I definitely loved the brothers reuniting. I loved how it showcased the struggles that they were both going through, especially for Yun Han, when this is someone that he grew up knowing as a father. He always thought his own parents abandoned him. This is someone that he literally looks up to, and he finds out that this man literally murdered his entire family, and now his brother is asking him to kill this man who has literally been all he knew as a quote-unquote father all his life. So the whole dynamics, the struggles between them, their conversations that they had, I definitely loved it. Their acting was definitely the best this week, Lai Yi and his brother Yun Han. Now next, let's talk about another of my favorite things this week is the Doctor and Fuyao's relationship. It's like their brother and sister. I just love their dynamics and how the Doctor is so used to her antics, and he literally is not, it bores him to death. Like the scene where he comes to see her after she is saved from the fire, and she's like, you recognize me? When he recognizes her, and he's like, for you to call me here, like, what are you up to this time? And he just had the most bored expression on his face, like, Fuyao, what trouble are you causing for my friend this time that I have to repair? And stuff. And your whole dynamics, like when he was shot by the arrow and he told her, look, I don't care if you die, just make sure the stuff is delivered. I definitely love their relationship and their dynamics between both of them. That's why, like I said, I wish this is one part that I would have been totally okay with them going along with the book way, with him falling in love with Fuyao, rather than adding this whole Ziyun character that just messes things up for me. But yeah, something else that I absolutely loved this week is finally, people, Fuyao is dead. I've never been so happy about someone's death in the history of drama watching. Anyways, Fuyao is gone, and she was gone really fast. Like, I expected them to drag, when she showed up again with senior brother, I expected them to drag this for another maybe like 10 episodes or so, but luckily they didn't do that. They really ended it really fast, just as quickly as senior brother and Fuyao showed up again. So also they were definitely killed just as fast. And I really want to touch on a few things on that scene, so we're gonna be going into depth on that scene. He might have been a bastard, but let's at least give senior brother props also for recognizing her disguise. He was the first one to recognize her disguise just from the way she walked. That really, I don't know, when I saw that scene in the first instance, my respect for him went up a little bit. I'm like, dang, maybe he really did like Fuyao. He was just really stupid and a coward. And then he proved it the second time when Pei Yuan recognized her and Pei Yuan was about to harm her, and he held Pei Yuan and took her out, and he's like, nope, not today, not on my watch, you're not gonna touch Fuyao. But then she still got Fuyao kidnapped. But I really like how he really stepped up and became courageous for Fuyao at the moment that mattered most and saved her life, because if not for him, Fuyao would probably not have been saved, because Wuji was somewhere else doing something else and would not have been able to get to her. Neither would Zhang have been able to get to her. So at least senior brother was not totally useless is what I'm trying to say. There's one thing I didn't like about the whole senior brother act this week is definitely the scene where he told Fuyao when they met behind the gardens, and he told her it wasn't his choice to marry Pei Yuan, it was a mistake. I'm like, bruh, it was your choice to make that mistake. Okay, now deal with that mistake that you've made. As you lay your bed, so shall you lie on it. Lay down on that bed that you made. But like I did say, he definitely redeemed himself after that. So that's something we need to give him props for. One thing that shocked me is that the maid was actually the one that killed Pei Yuan. But I'm really happy she's gone either ways. I didn't expect it to be the maid, but it was really nice to see that the same maid who ruined her face was the same maid who killed Pei Yuan. But it was kind of interesting when the maid said that she hated senior brother and Fuyao and she was gonna go try to kill them, and it made me, for a second there, I'm like, why the heck does she hate them? But thinking about it now, she probably hated them because they seemed to love each other in the past, and because of their love, Pei Yuan always used to transfer her anger on the servants and beat the servants. The anger she felt, the anger Pei Yuan felt for the two lovebirds was transferred to the servant, so the servant bear the wrath of that anger. So that's probably, if I look at it that way, I guess I can understand why she hates them. It doesn't excuse it, it doesn't make it right, but I can see why she hates them if I look at it that way. But if you have any other theories as to why she probably hates them, then let me know down below. But that's just my theory on why she says she hates them. Something else that I really was shocked about in that scene is how senior brother redeemed himself. Is it just me? But like, senior brother actually did redeem himself in that scene, and I actually shed a tear or two in that scene with his dad. I was really surprised, number one, that the drug that he took, the soul dispersing powder and stuff, shattering powder that he took, was actually the soul shattering powder. Like, Pei Yuan, how stupid, that just shows how stupid you are. Normally you don't give the real deal because you want to test them out and see what they do, but Pei Yuan actually gave the real deal, and because she gave the real deal, her love and her husband ended up killing himself and taking the drug, which really shocked me that he did take the drug. But he definitely redeemed himself when he took the drug. Not only that, when he came into, even though he was dying, which is probably why he did it, because he already knew he was dying, but he came to block the sword from hitting Fuyao when the maid was about to attack him. And I was kind of shocked, but then not so shocked that Pei Yuan actually went in between him and the sword, because he's already dead. But then I guess she doesn't want anyone else to hurt him, even though she knows he's dying, and she doesn't want him to be killed twice, especially by her maid. But I was kind of shocked that Pei Yuan actually stood in the gap for him. But it was what I found really, really interesting and kind of sad, is how even when Pei Yuan was stabbed for him, like, he didn't literally care. Senior brother, even till the last second, didn't care about Pei Yuan. He just looked at her and went back to talking to Fuyao on how he loves her, he's gonna meet her in the next life. And I'm like, dude, she ain't gonna be with you in the next life. Also, you dreaming, but sure, whatever, make yourself feel better before you die. But I just found that really kind of sad and pitiful in Pei Yuan's on Pei Yuan's behalf, that he still didn't care for her even till the last second. second with her death and all. Like, boyfriend did not care. All he cared about was Fuyao and Fuyao's safety, and he was ready to, even though he knew he was already dying, he was ready to die again with the sword just for Fuyao. And he really didn't care. Even when Pei Yuan stood in the gap for him and blocked the sword, he's like, well, you were meant to do that anyways. Even though for you, would I have taken the soul people drug? And then he faced Fuyao and continued talking about his love for Fuyao. So that scene was kind of sad and kind of funny. But yeah, that's just something else I wanted to touch on that scene that was really, really interesting. So yeah, coming to the things I didn't like, the Ziyun addition, like writers. Now I get why the author is not in support of this drama. Why did you have to bring Ziyun into the picture? I get it, unlike the book where the two brothers fell for Fuyao, you don't want to make it that everyone in the drama falls in love with Fuyao. But then I think, considering the instances, I would probably have preferred them falling for Fuyao than falling for the daughter of their enemy. It would have just been more amazing to see how the brothers collude together to bring down Zhan without having to think of a daughter who is innocent from all the crimes and atrocities committed by her father and stuff. I wish they really did not bring in the daughter act and the daughter love act. That just kind of ruins their story for me a little bit and just adds unnecessary drama that I do not want to see and I do not want to be a part of, and I know it's just gonna annoy the living daylight out of me, and it's already getting on my nerves. What were Yunhen telling him? You better leave this girl alone because she's not involved in her father's schemes, which makes me think at the end of the day, are they even gonna kill Zhan? Because these brothers are gonna be in love with this girl. How are they gonna kill this girl's father without her finding out? When I know who she's gonna end up with amongst the brothers, but if you kill her father, how is she gonna end up with you? Is it that she gives you the permission to kill her father, or you never tell her you killed her father, or someone else does the kill of the father? Like, how does the whole dynamics work and stuff? Or does she just forgive you because she loves you? But anyways, like I just said, I just hate the whole Ziyun addition. I wish they really did not add her this week. So there's another thing that I definitely did not like this week. Two of the things I didn't like this week. Number one is how the reunion of the brothers, when he found out that the doctor was his brother, was cut into various scenes in between other scenes. I didn't like that, number one. Number two, I definitely don't like the Ziyun addition to the whole drama and the love act and all. You shouldn't have added her to this story. That's an unnecessary addition we can do without, literally. Anyway, so that's something else that I definitely did not like this week. Now, my favorite scenes. My favorite scene this week definitely has to be the banquet scene. I love everything about that scene. How Fuyao was definitely embarrassed. How wuji / Yuan Bao saved Fuyao. The talk and the conversation and just the eye conversation and facial conversation between Fuyao and Wuji and their reactions to everything going on around them, and them just knowing that they're in this together and literally looking at everyone else around them like fools was really, really interesting to see. Like the scene where he stopped the sword and he was literally laughing behind his hand, like behind his garment, like, dude, you guys can't kill me, I'm just pretending to be a coward and stuff. So I definitely enjoyed that scene. Next favorite scene was definitely the scene where she was fighting with the princess, the crazy princess. And I think one of the reasons why I really, really like that scene is because she didn't need Wuji or anyone else to come save her. Girlfriend held it down by herself until the last second when she hit the cat, and then the crazy princess passed out, and then Wuji arrived. So she had already saved herself before he arrived. So I'm very thankful for that Wuji was not the one that saved her, because she can't have him saving her every single time. So I definitely enjoyed the fight sequence. That scene really made me worried for Yuan Bao, the mouse, but thankfully nothing happened to him. I was so scared. I'm like, if this crazy girl kills him, I am gonna murder somebody. Okay, that is intense. Not that intense, but you get my point. But we're gonna have a problem. But thankfully nothing happened to him and she was saved. And then when she was saved and she got injured due to her not being with the bell, and she got injured and she coughed out blood when wuji passed on his energy to her and he told her she was worth everything in the world and more. I absolutely love that scene and how they bonded in her pain at that moment. It kind of reminded me of Dancing All Along. If you guys have not watched that drama, definitely go check it out. Very good drama with Yuan Hong and Ruby. But it reminded me of the scene in Dancing All Along where he took out Ruby's arrow and they were kind of bonding in her pain, if that makes sense. But I really love that scene. So that was my second favorite scene this week. My third favorite scene this week, which was slightly ruined, I wish it had just been the focus because it would have made it even more emotional, was definitely the reunion between Lai Yi, the doctor Zhang Yue, and his brother Yun Hen. I definitely love that scene, and the acting when he kidnapped Zi Yun and then they were talking and he was telling his brother he needs to make a choice whether he's gonna stand by his family or by Zizhen, but if he doesn't stand by his family he's gonna be removed from the family registry and all that. The whole conversation, him cutting the grass, the whole feelings and emotions evoked in that scene was just particularly awesome. And like I said, I definitely enjoyed Pei Yuan's death. That sounds so mean, but I was so here for it. I was definitely here for that scene. I definitely enjoyed that scene. I kind of miss Zhan just right now. While I was watching this week's episode, I didn't really think about him. I didn't really care for him that much. But now thinking about it, I do kind of miss Zhan. I can't wait for him to come back. My favorite quote this week is definitely when Fuyao told senior brother how she felt, and she said she was relieved that it wasn't him. Like at the end of the day, that she's relieved that it's not him that she ends up with and stuff, her love ends with and blah blah blah. I definitely enjoyed that. My final thoughts, the drama definitely picked up this week. I like the dynamics of not just Wuji saving Fuyao, but Fuyao also saving Wuji in their own ways, and them just bringing their brains together to bring down the bad guys. I definitely enjoy seeing the good guys winning and not the bad guys winning this week. It's just really interesting to see how everything is a scheme played by Wuji. Like Wuji is the mastermind behind everything, which makes me feel like this drama is more Legend of Wuji than Legend of Fuyao so far. Maybe as we go along, it will finally come back to becoming Legend of Fuyao as Fuyao comes into who she really is. But right now, it feels more like Legend of Wuji than Legend of Fuyao. I was definitely not shocked by the revelation that he was the guy in the first episode who was sent to go find the girl that has this seal and who will awaken defeat, and that was definitely not shocking for me. I already expected that, but I know some people might have been shocked. But I like how it is obvious for him that he's loyal to his country, but his love definitely stays with Fuyao. Like for him, it's Fuyao or nothing and stuff. Like he can abandon the world for Fuyao, but he can't abandon Fuyao for the world. So I really like that about how it was showcased this week and all. But yeah, what do you all think? Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comments down below as we go on. I know we're gonna be confronted with the whole his engagement with the princess from the other kingdom, and we're gonna be confronted also with his father disagreeing to his relationship with Fuyao and his master disagreeing with his relationship to Fuyao. But one thing I hope for is, regardless of the environmental variables, the people around them, like the family, the father, the master and stuff, who are against his relationship with Fuyao, I hope his assistant, his personal assistant and his tight friends like the doctor and all, at least in the drama version, don't let him down and they stick by him and they support him and Fuyao till the end of time, and there's no betrayal, because that would really suck and stuff. But I'm definitely loving, even though Yal and Zhu is out of the picture for a little bit right now, I'm loving Fuyao's relationship with the other consort and stuff, the one who is Wuji's spy. I'm definitely enjoying their relationship right now. I hope to see more of her. But yeah, what do you all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I can't wait for this coming week to see what they have in stock for us. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my reviews. Let me know what you thought about this week in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, subscribe, and see you awesome beautiful people are. From me to you all, you know I've got nothing but love for you all. Stay awesome.